Hey guys, it's Maggie. This is awkward and weird, but I'm doing it. Okay, so today's Sunday, April the 12th, and I feel like I finally need to come out with like my story of what happened to me that Friday, October 11th. That kind of flipped my life upside down. It was a Friday and I was at work and I got a phone call on my lunch break, and my husband at the time was like, you need to come home, there's stuff I need to talk to you about that I can't tell you over the phone, and blah blah blah. And I was freaking out, so I went. And on the way there, I called my mom because I was like, he's fucking scaring me right now because he's not going to tell me anything over the phone. He wants me to go home. And I was like, can you please have your phone by you in case I need you? And she's like, yeah, of course, So I get home and I go in the house and he's there in the bedroom, sitting on his side of the bed by the side table, like, with his hanging over, and his gun was on the nightstand, and he like looked at me and he told me you fucked up, and I was like, what the fuck happened? And he said he got laid off from school because there were allegations that he was having sex with one of his students. And I said, okay, are these allegations true? And God, he's just, look on his fucking guilty ass face. And he said, yeah. And I was like, what? Like, when? And he was like, Tuesday. So that was that Tuesday. And this was Friday. So just a few days before. And I was like, where? And he looks at my bed. And I start yelling and, are you fucking serious? I want a divorce. I fucking hate you. How could you fucking do this to our marriage? Blah, 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 And he like grabbed the gun, and I was getting scared because like I was like pissed off and raged, and what the fuck, he just told me he fucked a 15-year-old girl in my bed on that Tuesday. Like, I was at work when that happened. He had time to take this girl from school because he picked her up from school and drove her to Crowley to our house and did whatever the fuck they did, and then he took her back home, and then he came back and he had his friend over there cutting his hair that day. And then we went to dinner with our friends for a birthday dinner that night. Like nothing happened. So I got scared because he was grabbing this gun, and Kylo, my cat, was running by him. So I grabbed him, and he kind of moved with the gun, and it scared the shit out of me. And I grabbed Kylo and I run, and I locked me and Kylo in Kylo's room, the guest bedroom. And I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, he has a gun, I'm scared, please call the police. And I hung up. And she called the police. And then I waited a few minutes, and I called her back on her house phone. So she had her cell phone in one ear on the police and the house phone on one ear on me. And then I started explaining to her what happened and what he told me and what, exactly what was going on. And it took about, I think it was like 12 or 13 minutes for the police to get there. It felt forever. And I was scared. I didn't know if he was gonna try and I didn't know what was gonna happen. I mean, he had this gun out, and he really scared the shit out of me. Like, I didn't know who the fuck that man was in front of me anymore. And so the police come, knock on the door, and I run out the front door, and I'm like, ah! And so I stayed outside, and it took them about 30 minutes because he locked himself inside the bedroom, and it took them 30 minutes to, like, talk him out and get him out. And then they're like, okay, he's gonna get in the police car because they're taking him to JPS hospital. And he's like, do you want to say anything to him? And I said, no. I was like, I don't want him to see me. I don't want to see him. So, because I was outside by the garage, and so this big police guy, like, turned around and stood in front of me. And they put him in the car. Then I remember they're like, okay, you know, they needed to take a statement or whatever, so I had to go inside. So I went inside, and I did look back. I saw him in the car, and he was just like looking down like this. It was hard to see. It was hard to deal with. But then 5 minutes, not even later, I guess my mom called my brother, because he lives not far from me, and he just got off work, and my mom's like, go to your sister's house, the police are there. And he's like, what? No, my sister's at work. And she's like, no, you need to go there because she's there and the police are there. So he got there. He was the first one there, and I fell in his arms. And then my daddy came, Lee came, Soros came, and I had to write this fucking statement about everything that happened. And then once I was able to do that, then went to my brother's house for a little bit, and yeah, that's how that day ended. I did sleep in the house. I slept on the couch for a few days, actually. And I started, I had to take some time off because I was fucking emotionally wrecked. And I did go back to work, and I was fine for a little bit, and then I just got to the point where I couldn't control myself anymore, my feelings, and I knew I needed a little bit of assistance. And I with an insurance and blah blah blah, I got into a counseling program. I was seeing an individual, like, therapist or counselor, whatever you want to call it, for a while. And then I would start having panic attacks in the middle of the day. I would go to work, and I would have a really good morning, and I would be good, and then I would go to lunch. And then at lunch, listen to music or something, and a song comes on, and then a memory flashes, and then tears, and then, like, panic, like, fuck. So I had to take, like, a little leave from work, and I did, like, a group therapy program, and it's an 8-week course. I am currently on week 6, or just finished week 6. I start week 7 tomorrow, and I'm almost done, and wow. It has changed me and made me look at life in different ways, and taught me a lot of coping mechanisms, and improved my life for myself, and taught me how to live for me and not for someone else, because I felt I was pretty controlled in my marriage for a while, and it looked so beautiful from the outside because that's what I wanted it to look like. But it was so broken on the inside, especially after I found out that, after he got arrested and stuff, I went through his cell phone and his watch, and I found text messages, and he had this Discord thing, some online chat that he was talking to these girls on, and apparently there was multiple of them. And a year before, he had brought another girl. She was a senior to our house, and apparently he had a whole affair with her for months. Because I know that she had been to our house before, because one time, a few times I would come home and she was there and they were playing video games, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why is one of your students here? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Excuses. And I'm like, okay, he's a good teacher, blah, blah, blah. But now, duh, Maggie. But I did send her a message on Instagram, and I asked her if she ever did anything with him. And she admitted that she had a long affair. She even said affair with him. And she cut it off. She tried to cut it off with him. And I think that's at the point, I think that was January of 2019. I don't remember if it was January or February. But that's the time when he told me that he wasn't in love with me anymore. So that's a whole thing. January, February, the beginning of 2019, he told me he wasn't in love with me. So our marriage started fucking up right there. And I tried everything. We went to marriage counseling. They went to individual counseling. We did this, we did that. I was trying, and I thought everything was improving, but I guess not. Because little 15-year-old girl, oh well. It is what it is, and he's sick. He needs help. And, I think he did get some help when he was in the mental hospital for a while, and now he's in jail. So I don't know what's happening to him in there, but I'm never gonna forgive him for what he did. Because marriage vows are a sacred thing, and to break those, no, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. Especially for the way he did. It would be something if it was another adult. But since it was a 15-year-old girl, that's a different level of fucked up. His students, these kids that he's supposed to be mentoring and teaching and, educating, showing them new things, and it's gross. But it is what it is. It happened. It's over. My divorce is done. It's finalized. The house is sold. It's over. I have nothing left attached to him at all. Except some memories, and eventually those are going to be tucked away. And the spot where those are going to be replaced with new ones. And that's fine. Because I was with him for, it would have been 6 years this February. And that's a long time. We were married, we had a house. You know, you get the dream life that you always wanted. And then all of a sudden, it all goes to shit. But luckily for, you know, I have a badass family and awesome friends, and I'm thankful for everything that I have, and I have been able to accomplish these past like 6 months, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. And yeah, I know this might be a lot for some people, but it's a lot for me. I don't know how the fuck I'm not crying right now. But I've come to terms with it, and I'm ready to put it behind me and move on and start the next chapter. Because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but I'm ready. But if anybody does have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to message me, comment on this, whatever you want to do, because I'm an open book. I'm not trying to keep this a secret. I didn't do anything wrong. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. Sorry, I'm a downer, but hope you guys have a good day. Love you. Bye.